Hey, we're coming from the Ultimate Recruiting Corner. My name's Jake.
I'm Brett.
I'm Miles.
From USA Recruiting, we're going to get you guys started on some fall sports and on the rules and regulations. Miles is going to tell us what we're doing today.
Basically, we're talking about the timeline and the rules and regulations that college coaches can start contacting student athletes.
Yeah, it's all about communications and contact today. We're going to go through the general rules at that standpoint with three types of schools. You got your NCAA, your NAIA, and your junior colleges. But for now, we're going to stick with the NCAA. That's where most of the strict rules for contacting come into play. So to start, there are two restrictions that coaches look at as a generality. The first one is September 1st of your junior year. That's when coaches can start emailing you, and July 1st of your senior year. That's when they can start reaching you by telephone. We're going to look into the fall sports first, and Brett's got us for that.
Yeah, so I have a quick question on our first topic. Basically, what is the recruiting timeline for both men's and women's Division I basketball?
Right, we're going to walk through basketball right now. I'll bring you guys through the men's part, and Miles, I'm sure, can take you through the women's side. To start, when we're looking at basketball, June 15th is a very important date. June 15th, coaches can start emailing you. June 15th of your sophomore year is when coaches can start emailing you, which is different than every other sport, as per they have to wait till the end of their junior year. Once June 15th comes into play, then we also have, once August and September come around, that's when they can start phoning you twice or three times a month. And then after that, once the contact period comes around where they could phone you at any time, they have an unlimited amount of calls. That's very important. And that contact date, if you're wondering the dates are up on the screen. You can contact us by that number. Miles got us on the women's side now.
Yeah, women's is kind of similar to men's, but a little different. Through the months of April to June of your junior year, college coaches can make one call to you per month. And then after July of your junior year, they can make 3 calls. And then really with the women's basketball, there can't be any contact by the college coaches before your junior year. So that's a big point. And then that's really the rules, but one thing to add with the official visits is official visit can only take place after the NCAA championship of the recruit's junior year. And that's really it of women's basketball.
Yeah, I just want to touch on that. As you just said, there's a specific date as to when women can start making official visits after that championship. For the men's side, they can only start making official visits at a different date, which is January 1st of their junior year. That's when they can start making their official visits to their schools for the men's side of basketball.
Yeah, but that's really it for basketball with us. But I know a lot of the football guys that are watching are trying to probably figure out their rules and regulations. So Brett could fill you in with that.
Yeah, so for me it's pretty simple. Starting your junior year, starting September 1st, coaches are allowed to start sending out materials, to try to lure you in, get you interested in their school, show some interest. And from the dates of April 15th through May 31st, you're allowed one phone call between you and the coach. So I find that pretty interesting. Also, your junior year, unlike other sports, you're allowed to actually contact your coach, speak with him on the phone. So to me, that's pretty interesting. Now, regarding your senior year, the coach can begin calling you about once a week. So you can stay in contact with all the coaches that really like you. You can see who's really interested in you. So I find that interesting and exciting. And then what I find most intriguing is that there's a contact period, and throughout this contact period, you're allowed to talk to your coach as much as you want. They can call you at 8 a.m., 6 a.m., see what you're eating for breakfast. They call you at night, see what you're doing at night. They can call you a million times. It doesn't even matter. And to me, that's crazy. I find that very crazy. Now, the one more topic I really want to touch on is the official visits for football players, for the recruits. So after the last Saturday in September, you're allowed to meet with your coaches off campus. So they can come to your house, show a lot of interest.
September or November?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. I think it's November.
Yeah,
you're right.
November.
The last Saturday in November, you're right.
Yeah.
Alright, so they're allowed to, meet with you all campus. You can go get a bite to eat. They can come to your house, chill with your family, hang out, I find that pretty interesting. And then one other rule is the first day of classes in your senior year, you were able to go on an official visit to any school you would like. So You can go, meet their coaches, meet their players, see what they're all about, see all their gymnasiums and everything. So I find that pretty interesting also. So that's really it about football. Now I'm sure Jay can help you out with other sports such as like soccer, lacrosse, some sports that aren't as popular as, football, basketball. So
Right, we got plenty of you guys out there that want to get into soccer, lacrosse. We have cross country, baseball, touch on track and field, all that stuff. We're going to start with soccer right now. We're going to go through the regular rules. Like we said before, September 1st of your junior year is when they can start emailing you, and July 1st of your senior year is when they can start telephoning you. So basically that's what we will want to look at, those dates for most of your sports, and talking about soccer first. As far as off-campus visits, once July 1st comes around, that's when they can start making their off-campus visits of junior year. And for senior year, once the opening day classes go by, that's when you can start making your official visits. As we said before, that's similar to the other sports that we just went over. But yeah, if you're looking into other sports, pretty much there is the same rule as soccer. Mainly, we touched on September 1st being by email of your junior year, and July 1st of your senior year being by telephone. Those are the main rules. Now we're going to take you through, we talked about a lot of Division 1. We want to go through some Division 2 and Division 3 stuff. I think Miles and Brett will run you through those.
Yeah, I'll take you through Division 2. It's pretty straightforward when it comes to rules and guidelines so when coaches can contact you. Basically, after June 15th of your sophomore year, coaches can start calling you, showing you around campus, emailing you as much as they want, stuff like that. And then with official visits, it starts after the first day of classes of your senior year. So that's really it of Division 2 sports. So here's Brett with D3.
So for Division 3, it's pretty simple. Your sophomore year, there's no restrictions whatsoever. Straightforward, that's it. There's no restrictions. For your junior year, right after classes are completed, right after you're done with your junior year, you're allowed to have an off-campus visit with your coach. So, like I said, he can come to your house, you can meet him at a restaurant, anything. So, I find that pretty cool. And then for your senior year, once classes begin, you're allowed an official visit. So, that's interesting. I mean, it's basic, but
Right, Division 3 is a little more basic.
yeah, Division 3 is pretty straightforward. So.
Yeah.
So we've been through a lot today. To finish up, I just want you. So today's been all about communication, contact that coaches can have with you. Further going on that, I want to make sure you all know that as a recruit, as an athlete, these restrictions just don't apply. You can contact coaches at any time you like. You can maybe even as a freshman, you can contact coaches and say, "Oh, I'm really interested in coming to your school. I've always been interested. I'm a huge, let's take for instance, Duke fan. You want to go to Duke your whole life. You can contact the Duke coach when you're in 9th grade. Oh, I want to play soccer for them. And then you can keep in contact like them with that. That means that they can't come back to you, but that means that you can get their brochures, you can hear about their camps and all that. So as athletes, you want to get in contact as early as possible, and that's what we can do over here at USA Recruiting. We can get you in the loop. And I think that's going to be it for today. I think we've done a great job. I'm Jake again.
I'm Brett.
I'm Miles.
Thanks for having us, guys.